Good afternoon. Welcome to the afternoon experiment. My name is Emanuel Livingston. I'm with you. Realistically, I'm only here for about 30, 45 minutes. I got some stuff that I have to go do, and so I'm not going to be here for very long today. So come on in real quick. Get it started. I'll wait until a few people have joined before I kind of really kick everything off. And of course, I'll repeat this because some people go back and watch the replay. But today's show, 30, 45 minutes, maybe, because I got some stuff that I have to do. Um, as always, when you come in, drop a line, say hello to me. I will appreciate you. And then we'll get off and running. We'll get off and running. Erica, good afternoon. Appreciate you. Anthony, good afternoon. I appreciate you. I'm going to repeat this a few times. Today is going to be a really short show. I mean, for real, a short show, like 30, 45 minutes. Because again, I do have stuff to do. I told y'all yesterday that I had things to do today after the show. And I do. So today's going to be a really short show. Dave, good afternoon. Representing Hebron. Dewanda, good afternoon. I appreciate you checking in. Got Robert Willis in the house. Robert, good afternoon. Come on in. Again, I'm going to repeat this probably about 10, 15 times in the first 5 minutes. Just so that everybody, as you come in, understand this is going to be a really short show. Got about 30 minutes. I got like maybe 2 things to talk about. And that'll be that. Myosha in the house being disrespectful. But good afternoon, Myosha, with your disrespectful self. Phyllis, good afternoon. Phyllis. Daryl, good afternoon. Appreciate you. Tria, good afternoon. Columbia Township in the house. Anthony says that means tomorrow's show will be 4 hours then. Didn't I do 4 hours yesterday? I did like 4 hours yesterday. It all balances out. It all balances out. Brent, good afternoon. Got Sean in the house. Good afternoon, Sean. Sierra, coming to the realization of who she is and the role that she plays on this show. Hey, E-Man and Little Baby checking in from Hatersville. That's right. I like it when people recognize their position. We got Brenda in the house. Good afternoon, Brenda. Daryl says, you wide in these short shows. No, this is for real going to be short because I have some things that I have to do. I thought I was going to have to do them later on, but the time got pushed up. So I have some stuff that I have to do. So today, ain't nothing y'all can do to keep me here. When it's time to go, it's time to go. And it's looking at about 4. I can stretch it maybe to 4:15. That's really about it because I have some place that I have to be. Reese Mooney in the house. He's wishing everyone joy, peace, and love, and he's representing Springfield Township. All right. And since it's going to be a short show, let me get right into it. And Pat, by the way, good afternoon. Pat, I see you. Anthony, I'm sorry. It was Anthony that was going to... It all count, Anthony. It all count. Let's see. I'm looking at this story. Y'all know we've been talking about the kids. What can we do about the kids? What are we going to do about the parents? We need to hold parents responsible. We need to this. We need to that. All of that kind of stuff. Because we really want to, it's apparently some black kids downtown acting a fool and we really want to get a handle on these kids. And we really believe that it is super important that parents be held responsible. If your kid is out there acting a fool, you deserve some type of punishment, because if you get some type of punishment, it's a deterrent for future kids to do the same thing, or even just to be bad. And if there's some punishment for you, then it'll make all parents feel like, well, there could be punishment for me, and that'll mean that you gonna pay extra special attention to your child. And I've been saying, y'all want the kids to go to jail. Y'all want the kids to go to jail. And of course, I've been being told, well, we don't want the kids to go to jail, but we kind of want the kids to go to jail. I mean, the parents. We don't want the parents to go to jail, but we kind of want the parents to go to jail. We want the parents to be held responsible, blah, blah, blah. So, okay. So, I think we've come to the conclusion. We've all agreed, if a kid does something wrong, illegal, violent, let's just stick with violent. If the kids are acting in a violent manner, we want their parents held responsible in some punitive way. Everybody agreed with that to some degree. Out here in Marymount, this story is up here on WLWT right now. Out here in Marymount, prosecutors shared text exchanges between arrested student and alleged co-conspirator planning an attack. Apparently, this 14-year-old is being charged with conspiracy to commit aggravated murder. I think that's violent enough, right? That's more violent than stomping somebody, kicking them. Conspiracy to commit aggravated murder. Because there was a credible plot to harm students and staff. They say the student, along with a co-conspirator, planned to conduct a mass casualty event at Marymount, however you pronounce it, I don't care, high school. They said the student created a plan for the crime. There was a list of students and teachers to be killed, and plans to access a firearm located within his own home. And they said, we believe this was going to be carried out. They did a press conference. They showed text messages showing individuals wanting to kill and rape. They weren't just going to kill people. They were going to sexually assault them, which sounds weird in a mass shooting. They shared some text messages. One of the text messages says, I need them dead really soon. The other one from the other person says, I got you, bro. This is a 14 and apparently a 20-something-year-old communicating. He want to know, can you do it tomorrow? The co-conspirator says, IDK, or in other words, I don't know. The following day, this was January 18th, he says, hey, I got another person for the list. And he gave the student's name and nickname. He don't want to be confused. Like, it's two Jakes. This one they call JJ. The other one they just call Jake. We want to get JJ, not Jake. We like the State Farm guy. Another text read, I can't go with you. I can't go with you. That was what the student said. And the co-conspirator said, well, I'm screwed if you can't go with me. One of them said, I'd prefer to gas the place, erase the cameras, kill the people that we need and want to. I'm not making this up. These are all screenshots of text messages. One text says, I need you to do it soon, like this week soon. Right? So this is a 14-year-old and a 20. Now the 20-whatever-year-old, of course, they'll figure out who that is. They'll arrest them. They'll charge them. They'll pay their own crime. But now, come on, the 14-year-old's parent? Because remember the argument that we keep hearing that makes it okay to do terrible stuff to our children in the name of, to our parents in the name of justice. We keep hearing, now, if your kid bad, you know. If your kid bad, you know. No, you know. You know if you raised a kid that's bad. You know if you raised a violent kid. You know. You know. That's what we keep hearing, right? So this parent of the 14-year-old had to know. Had to know and should be held accountable, right? Right? Well, the father of the student apparently has been cooperating with police. Said he was surprised to find out what had been going on. He was surprised to find what had been going on. How could that be? How could a responsible parent be surprised that his child is conspiring with somebody out of the state to commit mass murder? How is that possible? Because remember, it's impossible for us to not know that our kid is hanging with a 14-year-old and they jumping people downtown. Now, if your kid doing it, you know. If your kid is bad, you know. I'm not saying what, I don't know. I didn't see the father. I don't know the race of the people. All I know is it happened in Marymount. So parents in Marymount, it's okay for them to not know if their kids is doing bad stuff. If their kids are planning a mass casualty event at a high school, it's okay for them to not know. I had no idea. How could you not know? Our kids are supposed to, we supposed to know. How could you not know? I don't know that we're using the same standard. And of course, that's always my issue. There are different standards. Look, this could be a black Marymount student. It could be a Asian Marymount student. I didn't hear this story talked about on 700 this morning, but maybe I think the story really just hit. I think the story really just hit. And my guess is, if they talk about this on 700, they're going to talk about it with some sympathy. There's going to be sympathy for the 14-year-old who wanted to create a mass shooting and apparently rape. And for the parent. There's not going to be any talk of how irresponsible this parent is. Okay, Jay, y'all know I like pushback. Jay says, this is a bad comparison. In this plot, no one was injured. I use the same standard for all kids, regardless of race. First, I didn't say nothing about race. I guess I did. What I said about race is, I don't know what the race is. So, you quick to want to defend another race or whatever, but I don't know the race. I don't know the race. Number two, this person is being charged with conspiracy to commit aggravated murder. So, hold on. Your argument is the parent should only be held accountable if someone is actually hurt, not if a crime is committed. Because clearly, a crime was committed. And the parent should have knew that their child was committing a crime. Well, it's only a crime. It's a crime, but it's the parents are only responsible if the crime is actually committed, not planned and thought about and all of that kind of stuff, right? That's your point? That's really your point. Now, according to the standard that we've set over the past, week, this parent should be charged with what? If the kid is charged with conspiracy to commit aggravated murder, the parent should be charged with what? Because we want parents in jail nowadays. It's a different standard. It's a different standard. The idea that, it's horrible to go downtown and jump somebody, but it's okay to plan to shoot a school up. Samuel says, did the parents know? Ain't that the point that some of us were making? Is that maybe these parents didn't know that their children were downtown running around jumping people, and the idea was, then you should have knew. If you raised a fool, you should know you raised a fool. If you didn't know, then you were negligent. Wasn't that the point? Wasn't that the point? So whether the parents knew, if the parents didn't know, they're guilty of negligence because they should have knew. And of course, if they knew, then they're guilty because they knew. So either way, there's some guilt for the parents involved, right? We can't use the argument that, they didn't know. Because if your kid is doing bad stuff, again, and it's funny that this argument don't hold water with people. The argument don't hold water with people when we're talking about a Marymount kid planning to shoot up and apparently rape up a school. It don't hold water. It's different. It's different. I think it's very similar. I think it's very similar. But we don't want to be that harsh on a student from Marymount. She asked for some sun chips, so I got her some sun chips. So yeah, she liked them. I guess they had them at school today, and she wanted some. But yeah, I just wanted to point that out. Come on, I'm just trying to pay attention to the way that we and the greater community, and when I say greater, I don't mean better, I mean larger community as a whole, that we and the greater community, the lens that we view these things through. And I can guarantee you, when they talk about this, if they didn't today, when they talk about this on 700, they won't be blaming parents. No one will be calling for parents to be held responsible in this case. It won't happen. Okay, I can't guarantee it. But I sincerely and wholeheartedly believe it. My guarantees have to mean something. My guarantees have to mean something. So that was that. That was all. That was really all I had to say about that. I want us to pay attention and focus. I want us to pay attention and focus when it's kids, certain kids being bad. Do we hear the same call for parents to be held accountable as when it's other kids being bad? No matter the level of, because I would argue planning to shoot up and rape up a school. Who says they want to rape somebody during a mass shooting? We hear a lot of stuff, but we don't hear that. And of course, did the parents know? Did the parents know? They had to know. Stephanie says, I think you're wrong about that. I think Marymount parents will be discussed. We shall see. I don't see you discussing it. And remember, yesterday you wanted to get past all the positive stuff and talk about consequences for parents. So where are you? You heard the story. Where are you to say it? You ain't said a single, well, maybe you did, and I just didn't see it. But I ain't heard you say what these parents should be charged with. John wants to know, am I live? No, I'm not. Chelsea wants to know the criteria for adding people to the list. I don't know what that criteria was. I don't know. No idea. Secondly, I'm not talking about Monique. Okay, I might talk about Monique a little bit, but just a little bit. Look, I didn't get a chance to watch the whole interview yet. Y'all know I've been busy, so I watched like the first half of it last night. Sometime within the next, by the end of the weekend, I will have watched the whole thing. Here's all I'm gonna say, because I don't want to say anything about it until I watched the whole thing. But I'll say this. I'm kind of liking this. I'm kind of liking the idea that it's time for people to tell the truth. It's kind of time for people to tell the truth. See, Sierra, I'm not really talking about what Monique said. But I'm liking the idea that, because I hear a lot of people saying, oh, this is messy, and oh, that's messy, and people being messy, and so on and so forth. But at some point, and it's almost always been the way that I am, even though I hold back on saying stuff too. But I like the idea that, hey, y'all, it's time for people to tell the truth about people. And if you don't like what you're hearing about people, or you don't like what people are saying about you, treat people better. Treat people right. Are there people who can say negative stuff about me? Sure. But for the most part, it's just going to be like, I thought he was mean, or, I thought he was this, I thought he was that. Nobody, at least I don't think so, I hope not, nobody can really say, like, Emanuel did me wrong. There are people who can claim with no evidence that they believe that I did them wrong. But nobody can definitively say, I know for a fact, Emanuel did this. Emanuel said this to my face. He did me wrong. And probably if they can, I was responding to them. Because if you don't know nothing about me, understand, if you come for me, I reserve the right to come back for you harder than you came for me. If you attack me, I reserve the right to attack you back. But if you don't attack me, I probably will never attack you. But I like the idea that it's time for people to tell the truth. I see Janice says sometimes those are just their opinions, but that's sometimes. Sometimes it's straight facts. Like, if you have a word, a recording. I just read Dante's. If you have a recording of somebody saying something, it's not just your opinion that they said it. I can play the recording. You can hear this person say what they said. It's not my opinion. It's a fact. And it's time for people to step up. I believe it's past time. But what happens is people genuinely, I'm telling y'all this, people genuinely do not like to hear their heroes because, in this country as a whole, not every individual, but as a whole, we are big time in the hero worship. As a whole, we are big time into hero worship. From a small scale to a large scale. Big time. So if I tell you your favorite whoever did me wrong, and they don't, I'll use me as an example, and I'm not using Lincoln. Reverend Damon Lynch, I think he's the third. When I told people about what he did, there are people who still hate me to this day. Not because I did anything, but because I told them what he did to me. Or at least what he tried to do. And somehow I was the bad guy for telling people what he Where did the fireworks come from? I didn't do that. I just saw fireworks go off behind me. I didn't do that. That wasn't me. But there are people who are still mad at me for telling the truth. I don't know who did fireworks. I have no idea who did the fireworks. There's no reason there should be fireworks going on behind me. I don't know what that was. But the truth of the matter, look, what he did, I can tell y'all in a couple seconds. It's not that bad. Him and Nate was beefing. This was a while back because we kind of over it now. But him and Nate was beefing. And he called the owner of the radio station and said, I called his house and his church threatening to kill him. I didn't know his number to his church or his house. I've never called anybody threatening to kill them. But that was what he said, and I got called into a meeting. Did you call Reverend Lynch's church threatening to kill him? He said you did. And Jelena Frierson said you did. And, they was trying to get me fired. Because he had beef with Nate. And when I told people that, people got mad at me. Because he was their hero. Well, you shouldn't tell people that. You shouldn't talk about it. You should just, and then I remember he ran for council. This was before he ran for council. Remember, he ran for council. And I was like, no, I don't support him for council. Well, why don't you support him? And I said why. See, you wrong. You wrong for that. You shouldn't be telling people that, but it's the truth. Why should I not tell the truth? Why am I the bad guy for telling the truth? Why? So it's time for people to stop being scared of telling the truth and for people punishing people for telling the truth about their heroes. Yo Underwood says, did your brother try to get Raven fired? Well, I don't know. I don't think so. I saw the letter that he said he sent, and it didn't say anything about getting anybody fired. It was more about trying to get Stefan on. But Different people have different interpretations. Mine is not an interpretation. Like, there was never a denial. Like, no, 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 I didn't call and say that. No, no, no. No one accused you of that. There was never a denial. It was like, yeah, I did it. Okay, so what? Move on. So I'm liking the idea that hopefully becomes a part of life in America where you tell the truth. You don't, because somebody is your hero, you don't cover for them. If they do you bad, there's nothing wrong with saying, this person did me bad, and this is what they did. Of course, you still leave room for the person to come with an explanation and say, well, it didn't happen exactly like that, or I didn't do that, or, you know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be. Well, I did it because of this, or, well, but he did this before I did that. You know, you still leave room to hear the other stuff. You still leave room for that. But you don't be mad at somebody for telling their truth. That's what I liked about the Cat Williams interview. That's kind of what I've liked so far about Monique's interview. And it's not that, look, I don't know if what they saying is true. I don't operate in that world. I don't operate in that world, so I can't say that it's true. But I believe they wholeheartedly believe it. And of course, there's an opportunity for those people to come in and say that didn't happen. Or some people just ignore it. Like, it ain't worth my time even to address. But you don't, in my opinion, you don't get mad at people for telling the truth because you like the person that they're telling the truth about. And y'all know I suffer from that a lot. I suffer from that a lot. Trying to think, I don't really have anything else, y'all. I told y'all this was going to be a short show. 513-717-5464. I'll take a couple calls. I do see, if you want to call, I do see Ron in the comments, and I have a question for Ron. Ron, why when you call this show, you call with like a lot of attitude. You be cussing me out and all of that stuff. But when you call these other shows, you be respectful. You don't be cussing the hosts out. You don't be calling them the N-word, all that kind of stuff. Why do you do that? Why can't you call this show like that? And then we can have a discussion. I don't understand that. I'm a good guy, I think. I be trying to understand what you're saying. But I've heard you call in the past, I'm going to say week, maybe two. I think I heard you call Lincoln's show. You were respectful. I heard you call Ron.
How you doing, man?
Ron, how you doing?
I'm grateful. Man, listen. I call and I talk to you like that because I consider you my brother. I mean, not my brother, of course, not my brother like that. But it's a trip. You say a lot of the, I talk to you, you remind me of, a dude I'm just kicking it with that, I knew for a long time. It's a trip. I've been on the radio, or you've been on the radio for the last, I know 6 years that I've been listening to you, or 6 years, or the radio or podcast, and I'm comfortable with you. You
Okay.
know,
All right.
I'm you know, if you try to tell me, you, I'm I'm a little sensitive, and you a little sensitive, and you know don't want to do like that no more. I try to make sure that I take care of your feelings a little
No, no, no.
bit.
Look. I asked the question. You called in with the explanation. Believe it or not, I kind of like that explanation. I'm not saying that I mind it. I'm just saying I noticed the difference, and so I had to ask why there was a difference. I like that explanation. All right. So it's all good, man. You bring it the way you
Okay,
bring it. I bring it the way I bring it, and yes,
so now,
I'm cool with it.
so now, so now, you said you ain't have nothing to talk about, but
Tell me you're not gonna talk
I
about the carrot in a suit.
no.
Okay.
Listen to me. I'm gonna talk about two things. How come ain't nobody? I mean, I ain't heard nobody talk about those Hasidic Jews that they found in that tunnel under New York City, and they had to fill it with cement. I ain't had heard nobody talk about that.
I haven't
You
heard
ain't
about
talking
that.
about. Wait a minute. You ain't heard about that.
I have not heard about that.
Wow. Wow. I mean, well, I mean, it was some Hasidic Jews. The New York City Police Department came and was putting them out because they found tunnels under the ground because the New York City uh, community had been complaining about them hearing banging and all this stuff, and them hearing voices. And then they came and investigated it, and of course they found tunnels under New York City.
Now, hold on.
Un-
Wait. I just want to make sure that I understand what you're saying. Because, again, I haven't. Where did you hear this story? Like, this
no,
is a
it's
story you heard
no,
in.
no, I've seen it. They showed them on YouTube. It was on. I mean, it was on certain news channels, but they only like flashed it, and ain't nobody talk about it no more. It was babe.
Well, wait a minute. Hold
It
on,
was
Ron. Just, again,
yeah.
for me, because I didn't see the story. So I'm not saying that it don't exist or it's some conspiracy theory. I'm just trying to get and
No,
understand it. So the Hasidic Jews, what were they doing? Like, what's the.
we don't know. I mean, don't nobody know. They had. I'm telling you, they. I mean, it's not no conspiracy theory because they.
No.
I mean, they showed it. It was in New York. The tenants were complaining because they were hearing voices in the apartments, and of course they wasn't theirs. And the New York City police first of all, a dude crawled out from the sewer, and another dude seen it was somebody had videotaped him,
Huh.
and that was that's what the reason that they called the police. The police came,
Mm-hmm.
investigated, and they found that they had tunnels underneath the apartments that was there, and uh, um, they had um, baby seats where they we used what where do you feed the baby? Um, what is that?
Baby
Where you
food.
feed the baby?
Baby food.
No, 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 no. The seat that they sit in.
Car seat.
No, the seat that they sit in when you feed the baby. Oh shit, I can't remember. But you don't know when you had to feed your baby with the and you had
A high chair.
uh yeah, the high chair. Shit, I
Okay.
couldn't get it out. But they had high chairs in there, mattresses in there with stains on them, and you can Google it, or you can store it in YouTube right now, and it'll show you those acidic Jews in there, and they took and poured cement in there when they had where they had
Hmm.
the tunnels at.
I'm gonna have to look that up, Ron, because I don't. I hadn't heard of it. You brought it up. I'll look it up and I'll see it. But so what's the big deal is that they dug tunnels from their apartments
They,
underground.
no, they yeah, it was like a whole, and it wasn't just like tunnels. It was tunnels and rooms, like they showed them Hamas tunnels and shit.
Huh. All
But
right.
they had high chairs and um, mattresses with stains on them and all this shit, and nobody ever said anything. Now the other thing is, okay, you said something about you played you said or played something about um, COVID and uh, uh, it being Trump's and mega Republicans' fault and all that other little stuff.
Huh?
But it, I'm just making you aware of something.
Wait. Is
It
this something I said today or just?
no. You've been absent. So you said it a few days ago, and of course, I can't remember
And so I said
exactly what
something
you
about the
said.
carrot in a suit.
The carrot in the suit.
The
What's
carrot
that?
in a suit.
Carrot in the suit.
Carrot.
Oh no! Oh yeah. Oh, and okay. Carrot in the suit, but it's a trip. It's 400,000 missing Americans every year. They said they uh, uh, recover what is it, 4,400 of them. Of course, they recovered 4,400 of them, which means they died or something, and they knew where they were. But 400,000 missing Americans per year. Now, the reason I'm saying that is because I was posting um, girls and stuff that were missing all summer long
Mm-hmm.
that, that was missing, people that were missing in Cleveland, and there was a bunch of people missing in Cleveland. Now, I went and looked back back on my feed.
All right.
Do you know all of those people that I posted as missing and reposting and stuff? Do you know they took all of that shit down? I'm just we focus on a lot of different stuff on politics and all that other stuff, and we don't focus on things you know that we should focus on. 400,000 people a year, and they got to have cell phones because have you can't get a cell phone without an ID, and you can track every cell phone, so you can pretty much track everybody in the United States. So how in the world can 400,000 people be missing, and men, women, and children missing, and don't nobody know they missing
People,
without a trace, and
people,
don't nobody say nothing?
call me back tomorrow and bring this up. Okay.
All right,
All right.
that's cool. I just want you to think about it.
All right. Yeah, no, but you can get a phone. You can get a cell phone without an ID. That's just, it's a fact. You can. Um, but I don't have time to talk about none of it because that's the show. That's the show. I appreciate y'all coming in here. I am interested to see what the Supreme Court, what they do with regard to letting carrot in a suit be on the ballot. We'll have to see about that. But I got to get out of here. I got some stuff I got to do, but I didn't want to not come on because, y'all give me such a hard time about that. I do plan on being here tomorrow. Probably about the same time, 3:30, because I got to pick up the little baby. So, when I pick her up, I typically found out that I get home at about 3:15, 3:17, and then that gives me a chance to run down here real quick and get everything turned on and set and ready to go. So, no, Sierra, you hate me. You hate me. But Stephanie says she sent me the tunnel situation about the juice. Thank you. Thank you. I will check it out. Just I never heard of it. I don't doubt the veracity of what he's saying. I just didn't know about it. All right, y'all. I gotta get out of here. You ready to go upstairs? All right. We gotta go. Till next time. Be the reason somebody smiles, all right? I'm out, y'all. Peace.